Good morning, everyone, and welcome to IPER's e-lecture series. At the outset, let me brief you about the vision behind this unique session. IPER envisioned that although these are unprecedented times, there also exist unprecedented opportunities. An opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve quickly. And when it comes to learning, we must learn in action, as that's the motto of IPER. In order to continue the learning and growth orientation, IPER is organizing e-lectures exclusively for the IPErians. It would be a treat for the students to hear straight from none other than the corporate delegates themselves. The new normal, perhaps the most used term in last couple of months. But what exactly it is? And as the future corporate citizens, how can you all prepare for it? These are some of the questions which need answers from the experts only. Today, on IPER's e-lecture series, we are thrilled to have with us today Mr. Deepan Vaishnav, Executive Coach, Organization Designer, and an HR professional with us. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce and welcome him on the e-platform. Dear all, our corporate expert of the day, Mr. Deepan Vaishnav, an Executive Coach, Organization Designer, and a practicing HR professional. Over the last 28 years, he has worked with and impacted Fortune 500 companies across pharmaceuticals, life insurance, and automotive sectors. Having worked successfully at various levels and functions, Mr. Deepan has gained an all-round perspective of these businesses. Mr. Deepan holds a bachelor's degree in science from University of Mumbai, and his work experience cuts across three sectors, which are pharma, life insurance, and automotive. He has held leadership position in all these industries in the area of sales, training, and HR. Mr. Deepan started his career with Lupin Pharmaceuticals and then was associated with USA major pharma company Eli Lilly, where he was instrumental in developing business areas and people in large terms. Mr. Deepan then, in the life insurance space, has worked with majors, including Max Life Insurance, where his major contribution included setting up the L&D infrastructure, processes, and mechanism to measure impact. His next assignment made him to be a part of Future Generali India Limited Insurance Company. At Tata Motors, Mr. Deepan was at leadership position throughout his tenure. He was instrumental in developing and implementation of coaching interventions for the middle and senior level leaders. Some other key contribution includes an internal training program restructure, communication platform for the sales team, benefits program for the team, and several other million-dollar projects. Mr. Deepan, over the past 3 years, have been associated with Dots and Arrow Consulting and as executive coach, organization designer, and HR professional. In his rich and illustrious career, Mr. Deepan has earned certifications like Advanced Administrator, Results Certified Coach, Advanced Trainer, Gold Certified in the Art and Science of Coaching, Sales Capacity Assessment Professional Administrator, Design Thinking for Innovation from University of Virginia, and many, many more. His mentoring, guidance, and coaching has given time and time again amazing results to all the individuals that he has touched upon. And we are extremely delighted and fortunate that in this opportune time, Mr. Deepan is here to tell us, to show us the way to move ahead for a successful career. On behalf of IPER, I welcome you, sir, on this e-lecture series at IPER. Before we start, general instructions to everyone. Please keep your audio and video turned off throughout the session. Mr. Deepan will have a very interactive session, so whenever he will ask a question or whenever he'll say so, kindly quickly unmute yourself and then turn off your audio and video as well. So the session is all yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahulji. I never knew all these things about me in the manner that you described. And I really sincerely appreciate the way you've introduced me. You surely know a way of making people feel good and putting them on a pedestal. So that also justifies why you called me. So thank you for that. Whether it was really justified, all here, maybe about 100 people on the call will soon know whether it is really justified. So I hope to do my best, and thank you for this opportunity. So good morning, friends, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I know you can't speak. There are general guidelines, and you have to be on mute. But what I would like is, time and again, just let me know what your energy levels are, how you're feeling by showing a thumbs up or anything else on the chat box. While when I start presenting, I won't be able to see the chat box on the screen. So what I have is another device where I'll be looking at your chats. So thank you so much. Really appreciate, and I hope we can make some significant impact and difference today. What I'll do is I'll straight away start my presentation, which is here. We are all still grappling with technology. So here we go. All right. So 7 precepts is the theme. Yes, I have chosen to give this a title of called the arriving in the new normal. Arriving in the sense of being born in the new normal. And all of you are at that stage in your lives where you are at a stage where you're just about to, when you came into your course, you had certain things in mind, you had certain expectations, certain way about the way things will function after you are out of this, and suddenly things are beginning to change. What I intend to do over the next 70-80 minutes is basically bring out this perspective about the fact that it is changing and the way it is changing, what it means for you, and how is it that you can really survive and succeed in the new normal, as Rahulji rightly pointed out in the beginning. But the method that we will adopt is I will share a presentation which is only an aid. You'll find I'll share a lot more examples, and I will also indulge into sharing some stories. Some are my stories and some are other stories, right? If anybody has any objection or anything else, you may please send to me, and either I'll myself look at the chat, or Rahulji will help me looking at a point if I miss any. Okay, so with that, let's go. So that's me, which he has already described it much better than I could have ever done. So I'll skip this. Rahulji, thank you so much for that. Let's examine 4 situations, 4 different stories that were happening 2018, 2019, while many of you were preparing to come into your management studies, and many of you are already there, and you will relate to at least one of them. Sanjay is a young lad who has dreams that, he has some amount of work experience before his MBA. And once he completes his MBA, he has a dream of getting into a multinational company and have a fine career, ahead of him. Rohini is another, enterprising young girl who now, after her MBA, wants to join her family business. And she says, my family brought it to a certain level. I want to take it to a next level. Maybe I want to take it globally. And my studies, my qualification, my graduation, the knowledge I will gain is going to help me do all of that. I've seen my father, my uncles, my cousins, everybody do that. I want to make it bigger. Venkat, smart lad, studies well, studious chap. He wants to learn all the relevant skills, and what he wants to do, he's still trying to figure out, but he wants to just learn everything that is available to learn. And Nishi, who is looking forward to a job in a multinational company, comes from a mediocre family where her father was employed in a government job, her mother is a school teacher, and now she has high aspirations and dreams of becoming a marketing executive in a multinational company. Do you relate to any or all of these? Show me a thumbs up or say yes in the chat box. Then I'll know whether I'm going on the right track. Anybody? Yes. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. So, which means I'm able to get my message across. Really appreciate that feedback. Okay. Now, when you were any of these, you were going through this particular program or your course, and and a lot of people told you that these are some of the skills that you would require. You may have heard about something called campus to corporate, that there is a bridge that you need to traverse, and there are certain skills you need to learn while you go from the campus into a corporate. You need to learn time management. You need to be an expert at planning and organizing. You need to learn presentation skills. And so a lot of these things are already incorporated into your curriculum and your teaching methodology, your pedagogy, how you're trained and how you're taught different things. Communication skills. When I say communication skills, it is not only about the language. Okay? It is about how you use the language and your body language and your voice and everything, and how you get the message across. Executive presence and grooming, and the whole lot of soft skills. These are the things that you were told that you must learn during this time. You should learn after this time. I remember earlier days when I would go to MBA institution and I would teach some students there. I would tell them, these are all things that you will learn somewhere or the other, sooner or later in life. But look at it this way: you have 2 years, which is 24 months. You ensure that you read and internalize at least one book every month. And if you're able to do that, by the time you're out of your MBA, you will have mastered 24 books. And that in itself will give you so much of knowledge about the world that. So the beauty about books, whether hard copies or Kindle, it's up to you. This generation would probably prefer Kindle or the various PDFs. But when you read that, it opens the entire world for you, and it just pours into your presence. I remember I would do that, and that's a traditional way of teaching. That's a traditional way of learning. These are the things that you must learn, is what you were told. But meanwhile, something else was happening in the world. Around December and January, you saw that and Feb, news of COVID-19 in China and Europe started coming out. But in India, we were oblivious. हमें कुछ नहीं होता जी, हम तो मतलब Indians हैं, हम तो देसी हैं, हम तो पहलवान हैं, हमारी immunity मस्त है, हम तो देसी घी खाते हैं, and stuff like that. हमें कुछ नहीं होता. But then by March, we realized कि इतना आसान भी नहीं है. Schools and colleges, closed for just a few days, is what they said. Within 1 week, there was Janta curfew. Next day, there was lockdown in a few states. Next week, the following week, there was a nationwide lockdown, and everything closed. Schools closed, colleges closed, offices closed, communication, businesses, everything comes to a standstill. And at that point in time, we did not know how long this is going to last. So there was suddenly a change. Everything changed. Within few weeks, a few months, couple of months, people started losing jobs. And today there is one estimate that approximately 1.8 crore people have already lost their jobs to COVID-19. I'll repeat. Yes, 1.8 crore people have already lost their jobs to COVID-19. The new jobs are now fewer in number, because suddenly what happened is, when everything closed, offices were closed, people started working from home or working from anywhere. Okay. And then what happened is companies started realizing, we don't need these offices. If there were 100 people, actually we are able to do with 70 people. So do we really need so many people? There were some companies who did that. They gave back the offices they had leased, the office spaces that they had leased. So there were fewer new jobs. Work from home and anywhere, that was another change. Web meetings started happening, meetings instead of face-to-face. Suddenly everything was online. Recruitment started happening online. Joining started happening online. Of course, there were and there still are challenges. Everybody doesn't have a dedicated space to work home. I've experienced that somebody sitting in a room and you hear children shouting, you hear the pressure cooker going loud, shh, that happens. You hear the traffic noise, all kinds of things happening, and sometimes you can't see the person because the phone is at an angle that you can't, or the laptop is at a different angle. Everybody doesn't have laptops in the corporate environment, by the way. Uh, so all that happened, and everything suddenly changed for people. Everything started changing for people. Yeah, and that is a significant change, which I'm soon going to highlight what it means to people in corporates and to people like you who are soon going to be into the world of business. And so, what happened to all these dreams? Sanjay, Rohini, Venkat, Nishi. I'm reading some of your names: Umang, Aman, Rashi, Arun, Siddharth, and like them, anybody, Prachi, Sahej. For all of them, people like you, whatever dreams you came with, shattered. Life changed significantly. A lot of you were in a safe zone because you're still going to college. So I still have some time to think. So that's good. Then there was a lot of distraction, or you started getting busy with, okay, now what do I do? What do I learn? There were free webinars, free seminars. Some of you participated. Some of you did things of your interest. You got suddenly had a lot of time, but you were in a safe zone. Okay. But does it mean that it will continue? Obviously, it will not. Friends, what we are experiencing right now is a classic example of what you may have studied. It's called VUCA. Okay, never in our lives, never have we experienced something like this before. We have heard about these things from history. The 1918, bubonic plague, the pandemic, then the world wars, World War II, the Great Depression, uh, various diseases. We've heard about what happened when AIDS struck. We've heard about the earlier SARS or any other infection spreading around, or Ebola virus or whatever, but never have we, all of us on this call, experienced anything like this. VUCA, for those of you academically inclined, let spend one slide on what is VUCA. VUCA is volatile, which is changing type, speed, and volume, and the scale. It is uncertain, cannot predict future results. Complex, which is unclear cause and effect, and there is a lot of confusion around it. And ambiguous, there is lack of precision. So VUCA is a term which is used very commonly in human resource and management parlance, that we are in a VUCA world where everything is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So, and this, what we are experiencing, is a classic example of VUCA. Now, I'll spend a couple of minutes to help you understand a little bit about VUCA, how it is used otherwise, before this. For example, you have heard about this or read about this, that there used to be music companies, CBS, Sony, and all of that, and HMV once upon a time. They perished eventually, so to say, in the manner in which they existed. They don't exist anymore, simply because music started going digital. And when music started going digital, they started facing competition from an hitherto unknown device called a mobile phone. Suddenly, in the early 90s or mid 90s, Airtel became the largest seller of music through their subscription programs, and it was not an HMV or a Sony. Okay, you all probably know of Kodak. You all probably know of Nokia. Okay, and a lot of other things. Suddenly, because everything would change, there is uncertainty, there is volatility. Sometimes it gets very complex, and if you're not able to understand and overcome that complexity, what happens is you become history. Yeah? So it's a fascinating history of Kodak. If you read, you must read. It's a very fascinating. But where is Kodak now? Okay, Nokia. There's a fascinating history, fascinating journey they've had. But where is Nokia? Because when the complexities arose in the market, when there was uncertainty, they failed to overcome that by way of a weak strategy. So this is what we are experiencing nowadays. Nobody anticipated the COVID-19. Nobody anticipated all that is happening in 2020. Be it anything that you take, in any field that you take, there is completely unprecedented things that are happening around. The question is it all bad? Is it all that bad, grim, gloomy? Are we doomed? Uh, well, let us examine that. Let me tell you my story, and to show that things like that always in one form or the other existed. And you will relate to this either probably in your family, somebody elder, somebody at your age maybe have experienced something like that, maybe a parent, maybe an uncle, maybe a cousin. So as Rahul ji mentioned, I'm a graduate in chemistry. Uh, and it's a wonder, to many people that I'm a graduate in chemistry, what am I doing in coaching and psychometric assessment? Well, that's the beauty of India. So I'm a graduate in chemistry, and I grew up in the 80s and 90s, early 90s and 80s, when uh, we had lesser clarity or almost a lack of clarity in terms of what is the right thing to do. So a lot of people, advised me that you should take up management graduation. MBA was not MBA like today. It was something different. It was a different game altogether. And a lot of people said, नहीं कोई जरूरत नहीं है जी क्या करना है MBA लेके तुम मतलब मस्त रहो. तो पता नहीं था नया नया आया था ये कुछ तो समझ में नहीं आया क्या करना तो नहीं किया. अब लगता है कि शायद किया होता तो कुछ और होती जिंदगी. So after that, however, what happened is I looked around what were my friends doing. They were all doing pharma sales, so I also joined pharma sales. अब ज्वाइन करने के बाद somebody, like I'm talking to you, somebody talked to me, and so the benefit you have is you're getting to listen to all these while you are studying. We got to know all of this after we took up a job. And so pharma sales happened, and then somebody said goal hona chahiye. You should set goals, and you should figure out what you want to do in life. You have to have aspirations. You have to plan for the future. So all those things started coming in, and so I started planning. What is the planning now that you're already in the job? Now okay, I get promotion. I'll grow, 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 grow. You go up. But then I also got an opportunity to go into training, and then I realized I actually like this more than I like sales. I was good at sales, by the way. I qualified for international trips and always qualified for incentives, and it was great. But I enjoyed training more, than I enjoyed sales, relatively. So I got moved into sales training in my career. Then I realized that pharma sales and pharma training is not a bright future. So you need to do something else. So life insurance was opening up at that time. Privatization happened. And so I got this opportunity and moved into what was then called Max New York Life Insurance Company. New York Life is a Fortune 500 company in the US and across the world. Now it is called Max Life Insurance Company. So I joined that. And then there was training and more training, and there was management training, and there was coaching, and there was a lot of things happen. And it was a fascinating journey for me. Suddenly I came into that as if Alice came into Wonderland, and suddenly life started happening. What was critical for me is I had to adapt at every stage. Chemistry graduate, by the way, I did research in organic chemistry also, after my graduation. So organic chemistry research, moving into pharma sales, that was a completely different thing. So I had to adapt. From selling, moving into training was also a different game. So I had to adapt again. And the reason I went to chemistry in the first place is because I did not want to study maths. Okay. I was terrible at maths. The maximum I've got in maths, in our days, passing was at 35%. So the most I have got is 40. And the least I've got is 0. That's my academic record with maths. So if you're laughing about it, share that smile with me on the chat. I will also see. And if you're feeling pity for me, but now I'm okay. So you don't need to feel pity for that. Some comments? Nothing? That's Ajit sir is saying that. Great. So share, keep talking, keep sharing with me some comments or anything. Okay. So the reason as I said, took up chemistry was because I did not want to study maths. And then I find myself lining up into life insurance where everything is per thousand sum assured and those kind of calculations, and everything was complete bonkers to me. The returns are calculated on the internal rate of returns. Is like somebody would look at the sheet and say, this is 6% IRR. And for me, it was like, what on earth is IRR and what is 6%? How do you know it is 6%? So I had to learn. Okay. I had to learn. I had to unlearn a lot, and I had to relearn a lot. That was completely different adaptation. God's grace, I succeeded. I did very well at that, and I grew up in that. After life insurance, and at a senior level, I left and I said I'll start my consulting firm. I started my business, which failed. And so, moving from a job to business, adapt, business then failed. So I had to again adapt and get into another job. And this time it was Tata Motors. Now again, I was in a wonderland, a company of 18,000 employees on roll, about 12, 13,000 off-roll contractual staff, a large organization, a Fortune 500 company. 90% of them are engineers. Okay. And what am I? A science graduate. 90% of them are engineers. The other 10% comprises of clerks, the operators, who are in some form engineering because they are the ITIs, and some of us few HR people. Okay. And within that also, some of them are much more qualified in terms of university qualification. So I had to adapt again. I had to adapt to a new way of working. I had to adapt to a new environment, to the new world, and prove myself. So if I were to think, that this person is from such and such institution, has studied so much, I would never make anything out of myself because I've lost that chance. It's gone. It's gone. It's history now. I need to adapt now. I need to learn now. What is it that I can do? What is it I can learn? So these are the things, these are the times that pushed me to go out and get various certifications which were more relevant. So I got certified in coaching. I got certified in coaching from the Results Coaching System. I got International Olympic Committee certified coaching certificate at the gold level. I got myself trained in design thinking, and I practice and consult on that, and a few more. So that started happening, and at every stage I adapted. A time came when I moved out of automotive and I started my consulting again. And this time, so far, life has been good. So because I have learned to adapt. So every time something happens, if you are able to adapt, then you are able to ride over this way. So friends, the name of the game is adaptation. Adaptation is the name of the game. When you came in, the story was different. Now, when you're about to get out of your college, the story is different. Now, you must know what you are getting into and adapt accordingly. Right, many faces of thank you. Thank you for those comments. Okay. The most interesting thing about life nowadays is that it is changing. Interestingly, the change is changing too. And because the change is accelerating. If you talk to your parents or your uncles, or some of your senior faculty staff, like I'm sure Amarjit sir will be able to share what life was then, and what life is now. The change is rapidly, accelerating. Change is accelerating at a rapid and accelerating fast. Let me give an example. To reach a market audience of 50 million, the radio took 38 years. 38 years the radio took to reach an audience of 50 million. Television took 13 years. Okay. In our days, when I was very young, there was no television. When I was still young, television came in, and there was only one channel called Doordarshan, which nowadays you don't even bother to look at. But well, it's still there, and it has many aspects, many facets of Doordarshan. But there are many, many more things. And now there is even OTT, so you don't even need to look at the channels. Everything is available, over the top. Internet took just 4 years to reach 50 million. iPod took 3 years. Facebook took 2 years. And what Jio did to mobile phones, you and I all know, it took 6 months. Right? So if you see this, and it doesn't stop there. Even now, the rate at which things are changing. In fact, just after this lockdown started, after the pandemic, some experts predicted the changes that in IT have happened. This has pushed changes and development in the IT space. What we could have probably done in the next 2 to 4 years, we have been able to accomplish in the last 3 months. If you look at the Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, those kind of platforms, GeoMeet, the manner in which these have grown this significantly. So while there was a pandemic, while there was a suffering, while there was a unexpected thing, there was opportunity for somebody, and this led to change and a very fast-paced change. So you need to be aware of this. Let me also talk about another story. I used to work for a company. Let's just call it ABC. Okay, for I don't want to name because for whatever. So we were in a new market. Our parent was global. We were a global organization, but new in India. We were fine because we adopted people strategies to suit changing market needs. So the parent company had a vast experience of over 100 years working in other markets. So they knew, things can be uncertain. They knew about the VUCA thing. They knew about so many things. So they were prepared that, we adopted people strategies to suit to changing market needs. I remember when we first launched or introduced in the market, we were all told there is a system, you follow this to the T. You have no right to change because you don't need to use your intelligence in, making anything different. You need to use your intelligence only in doing what we are telling you to do. Well, it was tough, but we did that. But the company knew what they are doing. Okay, 3-4 years when we settled at a certain level, competition status scenario changed. What we introduced, the competition did not have. By then, in 4 years, competition also started coming with that. And then the company adapted. They changed the leadership people slightly. They made changes there. They moved people around. They got the people with the right competencies. And we were also trained differently now to adapt, to start using our own intelligence, because now the culture was ingrained into us. Okay. Now we were fortunate that we worked, and I was fortunate that I worked in such an organization. But the reality now is not that. Even they are struggling because the speed at which change is happening is very fast. Darwin, sir, has taught this many years ago to us that only the fittest will survive. That is how we became human beings, and that is how all the things that we know have, developed over a period of time. The survival of the fittest. Now, I am not trying to tell you that if you are not fit, you will not survive. That's not my message. My message is you need to be fit so that you can, not just survive, but thrive in the ongoing scenario. You're fortunate that we are talking about these things today. And what the new era really requires is three things. You need to rethink, reimagine, and recreate. To tell you a little bit, let me give an example about Apple. Many of you are probably using iPhones and probably watching this on your iPhones, many of you. Or some of you are using notepads. Many others are not using, which is all right. But do you know that the first company to come out with this touch phone technology was not Apple? It was not Samsung. It was Nokia. Nokia was the first company who invented this technology, who created this technology of touch phone. Okay. So they were able to imagine that in one sense, but they were not able to think about how they are going to apply it at work. And so they thought the market is not ready, we will wait. Meanwhile, Apple comes and, we will make the market ready. And they changed the market, they changed the world, they changed what happened to Nokia, they changed everything. Okay. Samsung and everybody followed, and everybody, is competing neck and neck into that space. So everything changes, but you need to be able to think differently. You need to be able to reimagine new possibilities, and you need to be able to recreate a new future and new possibilities. The question is, are you ready for it? Even if you're ready for it, do you know what you need to start doing now? In this next few minutes, I will attempt to address that. And therefore, the starting point is you need to learn new corporate skills. Short while ago, I told you about time management and all those things, but the skills required now are very different. And if some of you have a pen and notepad ready, you must write down these bullet points that are going to come on this slide. Learning agility. I'm sure all of you understand agility is. Agility को हिंदी में क्या बोलेंगे? Anybody can write on the comments. No comments.
सर चपलता।
चपलता. Okay, I'll go by that. मेरी हिंदी इतनी भी strong नहीं है, इतनी भी ठीक नहीं है. Okay, so चपलता. Somebody is saying chusti, reflexes, move quickly and easily.
फुर्ती।
फुर्ती. फुर्ती या स्फूर्ति? बट स्फूर्ति चपलता के साथ साथ strength जरूरी है. You need to be strong also to be able to do that, and that is agility. And you need to be strong and you need to be able to quickly adapt to change. So you must now in this new change. You see, COVID has told us that Anushka, zeal is not really agility. It is something else. Zeal का हिंदी मुझे नहीं आता, but it's not agility. Only those names that I can see on the screen I am responding to. Otherwise, please don't mind if I don't mean to not mention your names. Flexibility is a characteristic that comes with agility. Okay. So, what was I saying? Learn agility. This situation has told us that things are changing. We must now know that things can change even more. Okay. So, if you are able to adapt to the new situation and new scenario, you will survive. So, whether it is communication, speaking, it is about doing the jobs differently, using technology, everything you must learn. And you are fortunate, you are at that age when you can learn faster than many your previous generation. Okay, so you must adapt to new things every day. Learn something new which is relevant. Okay, have a growth mindset. Does everybody understand what is a growth mindset? Let me see some comments. Growth mindset. कोई जवाब नहीं. चलिए, let me give an example. I'm guessing that all of you understand the attitude of moving forward. Yes, Shubhi. Learning now, new every day. Yes. Okay. If you let me give an example of cricket, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been the favorite and is the latest topic of conversation in cricket nowadays because of the decision that he took, and all of us are going to miss him. So if you look at one of the critical characteristics of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and if you have observed him closely behind the stumps, he would stand there. He's constantly thinking, now what? Okay, 4 wickets to go in the last over, and he can tell Zahir Khan or Irfan, who was it? Zahir, what to do exactly in that situation, and not get, because now his question on his mind is, all right, we are in this situation. What next? How can I win from here? How can I achieve from here? And that is a growth mindset. Never stop learning. Patience in planning, quick change in decision. That's right. So you need to change. You need to adapt. You need to quickly realize, okay, now what? Now I'm here. What do I do now? Going back to my story. After I took up the job, I realized, अरे MBA कर लिया होता तो अच्छा होता. अब क्या करूं लेकिन? Can I leave this and go back? That was a time that it was not possible. Today you can work, go back to study and come back. In those days it was not possible. It was not that easy. So that was not possible. So what do I do? Here on, now what? And that is a growth mindset, and which is going to be even more critical. Even exactly improving our skills towards goal growth is just like a heartbeat. Not willing to grow, we will be like a dead man or paralyzed one. That's right. Yeah, even if you degrow, you're not dead, no? Should we? Anyway, philosophy aside, but yes, I know what you mean. So that's a growth mindset, and that is going to be critical. How you can, so watch more, read more about people who have survived, succeeded despite challenges and difficulties, and that will tell you what is a growth mindset. The other thing is, how do you build trust? A lot of things are now technology based. How do you build trust? So remember, trust very fundamentally has two components: character and competence. Okay, a competence is how well do you know and do your job, what you are supposed to do, and what value are you adding. Character is what makes you, and we will talk about both these in some more time. So that is so critical. Who you are is more important than what you are. I repeat, who you are is more important than what you are. And if who you are is relevant to the company that you will work with, that's how you will become more trustworthy uh, in the company or for the company. Manage your attention. You see, a lot is happening nowadays. Uh, and it is so easy to get trapped into bottomless screens. When I say bottomless screens, take the example of Facebook. Oh, sorry. You guys must be more on Instagram. You take Instagram. When you keep scrolling, it never ends. It never ends. If you read a book, 100, 200, 300 pages, somewhere it will end. And then if you read a newspaper, 25 pages later also it will end. So you have to keep this aside. But on Instagram or a Facebook or a WhatsApp or any of these things, they just don't end. If you're in the middle of something, doing work or a job, or for in your case nowadays working on a project or any such subject, and you pick up a phone for something. The phone is used for many things, okay? And then you see a notification on Instagram. If you get into it and you're not able to come out of it, then that's a trap that you need to be mindful of. Okay. So manage your attention, whether it is doing one thing at a time, switching off other things. You need to develop your own style. Being as a part of my coaching, I help my coaches discover what is their way of working, and we work on that in a manner that it helps that person. So you need to figure out what is that thing that you can do, and you need to manage your attention that you give to different things at different times. Emotional fitness. When I say so, health fitness, I'm not talking about, because that is a given. There's enough said already, enough in the media available, and I'm sure many of you are probably gymming. Okay, there's a question, but Tushar, what is the difference between who you are and what you are? Thank you for asking that, Tushar. I'll explain. Who you are is kaun ho aap. What you are is kya ho aap. Simple, right? But I'll explain that. वॉट यू आर या क्या हो इज अबाउट आपने क्या सीखा है और आपकी क्या नॉलेज है और आपकी क्या स्किल है. हु यू आर इज आप कितने सिंसियर हो, आप कितने पंक्चुअल, आपके क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है, आपके क्या एट्रीब्यूट्स है. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? शो मी अ थम्स अप, तुषार, इफ यू गॉट माय पॉइंट. Okay, thank you, Tushar. Great. So, and if I missed any of your questions, please make a note. Towards the end, we will have time, so ask me then. Okay. So, physical fitness is a given, it is expected, and all of you, I'm sure, are doing. But what is also important is emotional fitness. See, all of you are at an age where a lot is happening around. A lot is happening in the family, a lot is happening in your own personal relationships with friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, other friends, this friend, that friend, groups, relationships. Many things are happening. Okay, a lot you hear in the media. If you are a big cricket fan, you are affected by Dhoni's retirement plan. If you are a big Bollywood fan, you are affected by what is happening with Sushant, and several things happening around are happening. You need to be able to maintain your own emotional balance. So that is what I mean by emotional fitness. There's something called EQ, emotional intelligence. Okay, there are ways to work on this. You must, starting point is read more about it, talk more about it. Now, a lot is spoken about mental health when people say you must share, you must share, you must share. But I don't know if that's the right thing. People can be extrovert, people can be introvert. Introvert by default will not share. Extrovert by default will share. Okay. So let's not put pressure on people. "Tu bolta nahi hai, tu bolti nahi hai." It doesn't work that way. Maybe that person wants that space, but you need to understand what is it that you know can do to handle and manage your emotion. Prachi says optimistic approach. Anand says balancing the emotional quotient is important. Yes, the question is how. Okay, optimistic approach is how. Optimism may not always work, in my view, as a philosophy, because optimism is you're forcing positivity. Now, ठीक है, it's okay. Sometimes you feel sad. अब घर में कोई बीमार होगा तो दुख तो होगा ना. Now you can't say अपनी इसमें कुछ अच्छा ही निकल गया, ऐसा नहीं सोच सकते. ठीक है, खुद बीमार पड़ेंगे तो अब क्या करूं, नहीं इसमें से कुछ अच्छा ही होगा, चलो जी मैं डांस करने जाता हूँ, ऐसा नहीं होता. When you're unwell, you need to rest. There are sad times, okay, which is all right, but you need to be able to understand that this is a sad time and how I can come out of it, how I can handle myself even in these times. That is being emotionally fit. Being an ambivert works sometimes, but that is again a characteristic of a person. Everybody can't be. Either you are or you're not. Okay. Communicating skills, the new way of communication skills. Earlier, there was a lot of emphasis on body language, including the full body. So I would, if I were doing a live training with you, I would use the stage, I would use my communication, I would connect there with the audience, I would connect that side with the audience, but now it's different. It's this camera. When I do this, you can't see my hand fully. When I do this, you can't see my hand fully. Okay, something will fall. Okay. So my space is limited. My expressions are all, and that also is not very clear depending on the size of your screen and the quality of camera that I am and you are using. Everything changes. So a lot has changed in your words, the language, शब्द कैसे यूज करते हो, भाषा कैसी और कौन सी यूज करते हो. मेरा पर्सनली ये मानना है कि कोई किसी भी भाषा में आप बोले, लेकिन उस भाषा को अच्छे से सीख कर बोले. हिंदी में बोलना, हिंदी में बोले, नो प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन हिंदी अच्छी बोले. फिर मिक्स ना कीजिए, दोनों का मिश्रण ना करिए. इंग्लिश में बोलना है तो इंग्लिश, अच्छा ये नहीं बोलना कि अमेरिकन जैसी या एकदम शेक्सपियरियन इंग्लिश बोले, ठीक ठाक साधारण इंग्लिश बोले. द गुड थिंग इज हम इतने बड़े हैं एज ए देश, एज ए कंट्री, कि हमने इंग्लिश इंडिया एक और कैटेगरी ऑफ इंग्लिश बना दिया. इंग्लिश यूएस, इंग्लिश यूके, इंग्लिश इंडिया. तो हम इंग्लिश इंडिया बोले, लेकिन फिर वो ठीक से बोले. That's how you will be able to create a right impression, and that's how you'll be able to communicate correctly. हर चीज के लिए एक शब्द होता है, हर इमोशन का, हर सिचुएशन एक शब्द होता है, एक तरीका होता है कहने का. कोई किसी भी भाषा में बोले, लेकिन उस भाषा का प्रयोग ठीक से करें. Gestures and postures, yeah, it is critical. If I were sitting like this and talking, I'm not going to create an impact, right? So I need to be sitting properly. Okay. Focus on productivity. Again, linked to what I said earlier, managing attention. How can you enhance productivity? How can you see, with crunching and shrinking profits and businesses, everybody wants more in less. How can you create that time? Plan, and how can you, so say for example, one thing that I do is very, very simple, and I can share that with you. Every time I find myself doing nothing, okay, what can I do now? After that, I may decide, I may choose, नहीं अभी ना मुझे कुछ नहीं करना है, बस बैठना है, or I want to just take a drink and enjoy myself. ठीक है, that's a choice. But first, is there anything I can squeeze into this time? Okay, for example, I'm going for a meeting. So we've started meeting a few clients in Ahmedabad, and I'm waiting for that meeting to happen for the person to whom I'm meeting. The question I ask myself is, Acha, now in this moment, what can I do? Is there anything pending? Because the phone, the beautiful thing about the phone is it has your world inside it, right? You can do almost anything with that. So can I call? Can I send messages? Is there any mail pending? Is any calendar thing pending? Is any organization pending? Is any planning pending? All that I can do, and that's how I can improve and enhance my productivity. It is so critical. The beauty is you can have a tablet, you can have a laptop, you can have a phone, and all of three can sync, and everything can be on cloud. irrespective of whether you're using Microsoft or Android or iOS. If you're using that one consistent system, everything can be connected on cloud and you can access anything everywhere. So use those tools, technology, techniques, and see how best you can enhance your productivity all the time. Let me take a pause here, 2-minute pause, and see if anybody has a question. You can ask me either on text, or you can, like you did some time ago, you can ask me on voice.
Yes, students, up until now, if you have any question, you can either unmute yourself or you can post that thing at the chat box.
I still have a few more slides, so, but I thought in between, if you want to have any questions, I'll give you that chance. Okay, silence means none. And when it is none, I am a little scared, because one way to interpret no questions is everything is so clear, you are awesome, I understand you, whatever you're saying so well, wow, awesome. But the other problem, and which I hope is not, is वैसे पूछ के कोई फायदा नहीं है, समझ में तो आता नहीं आप क्या बोल रहे हो, चलो खत्म करो जल्दी और आगे बढ़ो. If it is the latter, then I'm concerned. अच्छा, इसका भी कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं.
I believe, sir, by the end of the session, they will be ready with all the questions.
चलो फिर then I will assume कि वो पहला, I will assume कि पहला वाला अच्छा वाला होगा, and I'll continue with that.
वही है, sir, वही है.
Thank you for that. Thank you. All right. So now what I want to do, friends, is to share with you 7 precepts that will help you survive and succeed in the new era. A lot of things would have been told to you, and you will find this is actually common sense, whatever I'm going to tell you next. But common sense is not common practice. These 7 precepts, if you take back with you, I promise you, the world is yours to conquer. These are about habits. These are about attitudes. So look at these. The first and my favorite is results or reasons. You see, every time you set out to accomplish something in life, there are only 2 possible outcomes. Either you will get your results, which whatever you want to accomplish, or you will have reasons for not achieving that. I'm not using the word excuses because I respect your judgment. You have genuine reasons. You are, for example, let's take simple things. You're supposed to make a certain submission of a certain project on a certain subject or something by, let's say, Monday, or last Monday you were supposed to do, but that has not happened. It not happened because you have reasons. Internet was down, data was not available, somebody else did not respond, some other team member was not available, anything. You have reasons for not achieving your results. Okay, I respect your, and I'm not using the word excuses, or that can be anything else. When you have reasons, you will attempt it again. And again, there will be 2 possible outcomes. Either you will get your results, or you will have reasons for not achieving it again. So last time, if it was internet, this time a team member was not available. Or if it was team member not available, then this time you had a problem, at home. Or it was raining too heavily, सब कुछ भर गया था, power नहीं था, माल सामान ला नहीं पाए, stationery मिल नहीं पाई, anything else. You have reasons for not achieving your results. And so it continues each time you have reasons. Hopefully you will continue to make an attempt until you reach your goals. So the point I'm trying to make is each time, and let me see if I can get my point. Can you see this red dot?
Yes, sir, we can see that.
Okay, thank you, sir. So see, each time you have reasons, you are going farther away from your results. Okay. And so if you want results, you cannot have reasons. They don't exist together. I would say be unreasonable. Nobody, there is not a single example in this world where people have been reasonable and have been successful. Any great significant achievement, okay, have happened when the inventor has not given himself or herself any reasons. Okay, if you have studied science, whether it is those people like Marie Curie and others who had the thought, that I will fall sick, I am likely to get cancer. Why should I do all this research? Then all the research wouldn't have happened. Okay, if all the freedom fighters of India would have thought, my life is at stake, why should I bother about it? Then we wouldn't have been, had speaking in Hindi. हम सब अंग्रेजी ही बोलते होते और वो भी British English. And life would have been very different. So if you have reasons, results won't happen. So always carry this attitude and get into this habit of asking yourself all the time, results or reasons. Okay. And the choice is always yours. Always it is your choice. Okay. The second thing you must keep in mind is, and you must know this, is what makes you you. What is your uniqueness? अब थोड़ी देर पहले हम पूछ रहे थे ना कि who are you क्या होता है? ये होता है who are you. What makes you different? What is the unique capability, skills, competencies about you that you can bring to the table? दुनिया ने आपको नाम दे दिया, एजुकेशन दे दिया, डेजिग्नेशन भी मिल जाएगा, आइडेंटिटी मिल जाएगी आपकी, बट आप कौन हो? आपकी क्या यूनिकनेस है? ये आपको डिसाइड करना है और आपको उसके ऊपर काम करना है, ढूंढना है उसको, स्वॉट एनालिसिस करना है. बताऊंगा आगे, वी विल टॉक अबाउट इट. वही कर लेते हैं बात, उसमें क्या है. ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंड SWOT? आई एम गेसिंग स्ट्रेंथ्स, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड threats. Okay. And if anybody needs to understand how to do that, at the end you can ask me the question and we can talk about it. But I'm assuming all of you would understand SWOT. Think like an entrepreneur. Think and act like an entrepreneur in terms of whatever you do. Some of you might be thinking that मुझे तो नौकरी लेनी है. But then again, businesses, companies nowadays want people who are willing to think like an entrepreneur. There is something known as the gig economy nowadays. A lot of companies are outsourcing jobs. So काम तो है. So instead of being an employee, you might end up being a service provider. So like when I go to companies, when I talk to junior employees there, I ask them this question. Imagine करो कि आपका अपना काम कंपनी ने सोच लिया कि भाई हमें नौकरी पे नहीं रखना, इसको हम आउटसोर्स कर देंगे, और आप ही को आउटसोर्स किया, आप ही को वेंडर बनाया, आप ही को सर्विस प्रोवाइडर बना दिया. आप क्या करोगे? अलग करोगे कुछ? जाहिर है करोगे. यू विल डू समथिंग डिफरेंट. नौकरी में क्या होता है, व्हेन यू थिंक लाइक एन एम्प्लॉई, शाम को 6 बजे 7 बजे, अभी मेरी डेट है, अभी ये तो कल मांगा है ना बॉस ने, ठीक है ना, कल दोपहर तक मैं करके सुबह आके दे दूंगा. इफ यू आर अ वेंडर, वो कल मांगा है तो आज देना है, फिर ये डेट फेट नहीं आती बीच में. और अगर आई तो वो नहीं होगा, ये आप जान के चलो. So you're conscious that you will lose out on something, and if you have to balance, you need to plan ahead. You will figure out what to do. You will plan the day. You will start your day early so that you can go whatever, something you will do which is different than what you would do if you are an employee. So think like an entrepreneur. ये नौकरी आपकी है, ये जॉब आपका है. बिजनेस करना है तो आप ही को करना है, आप ही को काम करना है, आप ही को कमाना है, आप ही को जो भी नतीजा मिलेगा आप ही को उसमें से कुछ करना है. Fourth point is mad. Go mad. When I say mad, it is about make a difference. Make a difference to whatever you do. आप अभी भी as a student कुछ भी करते हो, what value are you adding? Are you making any difference to whatever you're doing? या ये कोई भी कर लेता काम? अगर कोई भी कर लेता ना काम, then you are replaceable. कोई भी कर लेगा. लेकिन आपकी अगर वैल्यू ऐड उसमें है, आपका स्टैंप उस पर लगा है, तो people will start depending on you, and when they start depending on you, you succeed. You see, People have said this and research has shown this, that when you start working, you work more in terms of quantity and quality than what you get paid for. And if you do this well, a time will come when you will work very little, but you will get paid much more. Okay. So effort goes, if you can see my hands, it goes down and income can go up. There will come an inflection point, but that will only happen if you are adding value. You have that attitude of adding value each time that you do something. Always carry empathy with you. Fifth point, understand people and their points of view. Walk in their shoes. You know, how many times have you found yourself, even with friends, हाँ मुझे मालूम है क्या हुआ, rather than responding मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हुआ, मैंने भी देखा ये क्या होता है. Listen. When you listen, that's when you will be able to create that or generate that empathy within you. If you are, like I talk to our corporates, you know, if leaders are to be elected, voting से अगर होती ना, तो क्या will your team still vote for you? आज नहीं, but when you start working, you need to keep this in mind. Going out as management graduates, you will have team members, you know, reporting to you. If they elect you, will they vote for you? Think about that. Ask that question all the time. Take risks, because no pain, no gain. Going back to my story, ठीक है, यदि मैंने रिस्क न लिया होता तो कुछ नहीं होता. मैं दवाई की कंपनी छोड़ता ही नहीं. केमिस्ट्री पढ़ के दवाई तो आसान था. इंश्योरेंस में गया नहीं होता. अब इंश्योरेंस के बाद बिजनेस नहीं करा तो फेलियर क्या है वो नहीं समझ में आता. अब फेलियर हुआ तो पता चला ऑटोमोटिव में गया तो फिर से कुछ सीखना पड़ा. गाड़ी में टॉर्क और पावर में क्या अंतर है वो तो तब जाके समझ में आया. ठीक है, और मशीन कैसे चलती है, ठीक है साइंस ग्रेजुएट, लेकिन सीखा ना गाड़ी कैसे चलती है, बनती है कैसी है. Exactly, as Mohammed Akbar says, you never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. So the thing about this is, Akbar, is change happens. Okay. Now either you change yourself or something changes you, but change will happen. If you change yourself, it is easier. But if something changes you, it's painful. Okay. Take risks. Fail fast and cheap, because the faster you fail, the cheaper is the lesser is the price you pay. And remember, your safety net also imprisons you. सेफ रहना का मतलब है एक पिंजरे में रहना. जू में पिंजरे में जो जानवर होता है उसको कुछ नहीं होता, सेफ है. लेकिन क्या शेर पिंजरे में रहने के लिए बना है? क्या बंदर पिंजरे में रहने के लिए बना है? या कोई भी एनिमल, वो बाहर निकलेगा तो रिस्क है, कोई हंटर मिलेगा, कोई और प्रेडेटर एनिमल मिलेगा, लेकिन उसकी जिंदगी बनी है बाहर रहने के लिए. सो यू और आई ऑल्सो नीड टू बी टेकिंग रिस्क. And always keep in mind that change happens, impermanence. Whatever is today, you will change tomorrow. Nothing ends, everything changes. Nature में भी ये बहुत अच्छे से समझाया है. If you look at the caterpillar ये सोचेगा कि मेरी जिंदगी तो खत्म हो गई, लेकिन उसी स्टेज से बटरफ्लाई की जिंदगी शुरू होती है. Right? So caterpillar will change into butterfly. Either you accept and you'll change into butterfly, or you will anyway change your butterfly, but then the process will be painful. So change is going to happen. How are you ready, and how are you getting yourself ready for getting that change even better? So the 7 precepts are: results or reasons, you, what is your uniqueness, think like an entrepreneur, go mad, make a difference, carry and always deal with empathy, in all your dealings with people. Always take risks all the time. Nothing is like a safe zone. And impermanence, things will change all the time. Every time things will change. That's the way to success. I know I've gone a little fast here because I'm mindful that we are at 12:10, and at the end I want to give you some time. But even if you don't have any questions, if you want me to delve on anything more after we end, you can do that. Of course, you can ask me, and I will spend more time on that too. The question is, 7 precepts हो गए, change समझ में आ गया हमको जी. ये बात समझ में आ गई कि जिंदगी बदल गई और बदलने वाली है. तो शुरू कहाँ से करें? Where do I begin? Where do I begin? That's a question. And here's my advice to you. Be a SWOT. Okay? Learn to communicate effectively. When I say effectively, it is about आपके मन में जो है, क्या सामने सुनने वाले ने भी वही समझा है जो आपके मन में है या कुछ और? ये टेस्ट करने का तरीका बड़ा आसान है. And I still do this after 28 years of work experience. When I'm drafting an important mail, I draft something, I write it, something किसी को भेजना है. Then I ask somebody who doesn't have any history about this. किसी को पता नहीं क्या है. मैं उसको पूछता हूँ ये पढ़िए और बताइए इसमें आपको क्या समझ में आया. और जब वो वही चीज बोलते हैं जो मुझे समझ में आया, मैंने जो चाहा है, then my communication is correct. अगर नहीं तो मुझे इसमें कुछ चेंज करना है. सिमिलरली जब मुझे कुछ बोलना होता है तो मैं प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ, मैं अपने आप को वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ और मैं देखता हूँ, मैं सुनता हूँ. मैं कहीं जाकर अभी भी मैं काफी बहुत सारी चीजें करता हूँ. मैं गो एज पब्लिक स्पीकर, आई डू पार्टिसिपेट इन वेरियस फोरम्स एंड आई डू ऑल दिस. आई रिकॉर्ड दैट. आज मैं रिकॉर्ड नहीं कर रहा हूँ, आई नो ऑल ऑफ यू आर डूइंग इट, बट मैं रिकॉर्ड करके देन आई लुक एट इट माई सेल्फ. व्हाट इज इट दैट आई वांटेड टू से? इज दैट कमिंग अक्रॉस? So these are simple. You can go on the internet, you can go on Kindle, you can read all kinds of books, you can do that. But these are very, very simple, easy to do things that you can do to learn how to communicate effectively. The rules are simple. All of you know language, and I already told you, use any language, but use it effectively. You know voice modulation, you know the use of grammar, you know चिल्लाना कब है और जोर से कब बोलना है, ऊंचा कब बोलना है, नीचा कब बोलना है, you know all of that. बट उसको सही आता है कि नहीं यूज करना है, उसका तरीका है खुद देख लो, करके देख लो या लिखो, अगले से पूछो. लाइक व्हेन आई एम राइटिंग एनीथिंग कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, आई आस्क माय सन और माय वाइफ, टेल मी व्हाट यू अंडरस्टूड आउट ऑफ दिस. तो आई राइट आर्टिकल्स ऑन लिंक्डइन व्हेन इट्स अ लॉन्गेस्ट थिंग, आई अगेन आस्क देम, दोनों को बोलता हूँ पढ़िए आपको क्या समझ में आया, एंड दे टेल मी ये समझ में आया, ये समझ में आया. तो इज इट एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से? Answer is no. I'll go back and redraft it. फिर बोलता हूँ अब बताओ क्या है. I don't explain to them what I'm trying to say, because then next time when I get the next draft, they will know what it is. Okay, and then once what they say and what I'm intending to say is the same, that goes out as a final thing. That is effective communication in simple terms. And rules, techniques, there are plenty. आप मिल जाएगी 10 tips to do effective. You can read books. Dale Carnegie की है, बहुत सारी है. You can take up online modules or programs. You know, Udemy will offer courses, Coursera will offer courses, LinkedIn पे बहुत सारी है. But these are all simple techniques that you can always do and do that. Next is what next? How can I, how can I do better? How can I do the next thing? How can I grow from here? How can I get better? How can I? These are the questions you need to start asking yourself. Up next, what can you anticipate next? Okay, what is the next thing that is going to happen? What can come next? Okay, and that's when you will be able to take the right decisions. Know and be who you are. अपने आप को जानिए, अपने आप को समझिए, इंट्रोस्पेक्ट कीजिए, अपना स्वॉट कीजिए और उस हिसाब से start behaving yourself. If you learn to become like somebody else, at best you will become a mimicry artist. Okay, which is good if that's what you want to do. But if you want to become something else, then you need to be who you are. What is your uniqueness? So do that understanding and ask yourself that question. Who am I? What makes me me? What is my unique capabilities? What is my unique strength? Ask people who you trust. You can ask questions like, tell me about, give me feedback. Why are you my friend? Why do you trust me? These questions you can ask. Don't answer, don't debate, don't discuss that. Just make a note and then go back and do an examination for yourself. And that will tell you, a little bit more about who you are. Every time you're talking to people, know your audience. Today, you may be making some presentations for your curriculum. You may be going elsewhere, or in future when you start taking up jobs, you will do when you go for preparing for interviews, or even internships or anything, you need to be prepared with who you're going to meet and what you're going to talk about. I'll give you an example. Sometime back, I went to meet a prospective client. Okay. And before going for that meeting, I did a little bit of research about that person through LinkedIn and internet and various other sources. And I found out that some 30 years ago, he used to be a graduate engineer trainee at Tata Motors, Telco, at that time, Telco. So okay. So then I saw the year and some of my seniors and my bosses in Tata Motors. So there was a correlation in terms of the time overlap and the place that he worked. So that research I was done with. Now, when I went for that interview, for the discussion with that person, what did I do? Through the course of conversation, I dropped those names and I talked about Tata Motors. अरे हाँ, तुम तो टाटा मोटर्स में हो ना, अरे तो क्या ये गिरीश अभी कहाँ है, और फिर वो अभी कहाँ है, रामकी अभी कहाँ है. So, after that, 30 minutes discussion was about those days of Tata Motors, Telco factory, Block E, Block H, Block D, what was happening in Pune, what was happening in Jamshedpur. Outcome of the meeting, was he happy with me? Sure, he was happy because I was talking about things which were of his interest, his past. And then he was willing to help me. Okay. When I'm going to meet with, when I'm making a speech or a presentation, I need to know who are these people. So, for example, today, if I start talking about corporate, what is vision, mission, values, and things like that, or corporate strategies, or business finance, or marketing, or certain kind of product, it won't make sense to you because that is a part of your studies, one. And two, that's not why we are here today. Okay, so I need to be very sure, and similarly, you need to be very sure who you're talking to when. I already spoke about concentrate and focus on your emotional and physical well-being. Do the gymming part, but also do the emotional part. Read night. The one thing I have a problem with is all these things about positive attitude and positive thinking. Okay. Positive attitude, if you look only at that and positive thinking, they will force you to think positive even when you need something else emotionally. So you need to be able to distinguish that. It is okay to feel sad. Yes. Yes. The positive way to think is, okay, now I am sad. What do I do now? Instead, no, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. That doesn't help. That doesn't. Okay. If something is difficult, it is difficult. Yes, this is difficult. But I need to learn how to overcome that. No, nothing is difficult. I can do. That's not the right way of thinking. आप समझ रहे हो मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ? उम्मीद रखता हूँ हाँ. Yes, be true to what you feel. Exactly. अच्छा, be true and at the same time ऐसे नहीं कि फिर उसी में उलझे रहो. Don't wallow in that feeling. मुझे कोई तकलीफ है तो तकलीफ है, लेकिन तकलीफ से बाहर कैसे निकलूं वो भी मुझे ही सोचना है. इट इज एक ये जो थॉट है ना कि बी ट्रू, उसकी एक दूसरी प्रॉब्लम है. हाँ, मुझे सिखाया गया है कि आई नीड टू बी ट्रू टू माई फीलिंग. अभी आई एम फीलिंग बैड, अभी मैं ऐसे ही हूँ, लाइफ खत्म, तो खत्म रहेगी, फिर कुछ नहीं होगा आगे. उसका मतलब ये है कि ठीक है, आई एम फीलिंग डिफरेंट फीलिंग्स. समटाइम्स आई एम सैड, समटाइम्स आई एम हैप्पी, समटाइम्स आई एम वेरी हैप्पी, समटाइम्स आई एम एक्साइटेड. ऑलराइट, अब करना क्या है, लेकिन आगे कहाँ बढ़ना है? दैट इज अ क्वेश्चन आई नीड टू आस्क. Okay, great, thank you. And always start thinking in terms of how will you add value, and these are the things that will take you to the top. So inculcate, develop these habits, do your SWOT, know and be who you are, learn to communicate effectively, think about what next, know your audience, always prepare, emotional and physical well-being, focus and concentrate on that, and think how you can add value to whatever you do. होता है ना, nowadays many of you are probably studying from home. तो मम्मी बोलेगी कि जरा फलानी 4 चीजें लेकर आ. तो मैं अपना फोन लेके गया हूँ, इंस्टाग्राम देख रहा हूँ, व्हाट्सएप देख रहा हूँ, ये 4 चीजें दुकानदार को बोला, मैं लेकर आ गया. सब्जी लाने भेजा था. भाई प्रैक्टिकल सिचुएशन है, मेरे साथ भी होता है कभी. और जब आधे मम्मी बोले तू ये सब्जी तो ये सड़ी हुई लेकर आया है, और मेरा तो ध्यान ही नहीं था. तो व्हाट वैल्यू डिड आई ऐड? या फिर दूसरे दिन नाश्ते में, अरे फलाना बटर तो खत्म हो गया, तो कल गया था लाया क्यों नहीं, और आपने बोला नहीं था, तो तुम खुद गए थे ना भाई, तो खुद क्यों नहीं सोचा कि तुम्हारा खुद का बटर कल लगेगा, या ब्रेड या वॉट एवर एल्स, सिंपल एग्जाम्पल. You need to start thinking, what value are you adding for anything that you are doing, everything that you're doing, what is your value add. अच्छा, sometimes not doing anything is also valid. Somebody is doing something, जो छोटा बच्चा है घर में, या छोटा भाई है, छोटा बहन है, और कजिन है, अगर उसको कुछ अपने आप करना है तो करने दो. वहां जाके ये नहीं बोलना है कि चलो मैं सिखाता हूँ कैसे होता है जी, मुझे सिखाया गया है ऐसे वैल्यू ऐड करना. नहीं, दैट्स नॉट वैल्यू ऐड. ठीक है. या एब्सोल्युटली, अंकुर राइटली सेड, इट इज अबाउट being present, being in that moment, presence of mind. That is critical. And then you will know when, whether or not, and how you can add value. Thank you for that trigger, Ankurji. Okay. So, do not wait for life. I would say, do not wait for life. Instead, go fetch it. It's all yours. If you follow these 7 precepts and do starting points, life is yours and the world is all yours for the asking. Thank you so much. I'd be happy to first, of course, connect with you anytime you want. And right now, happy to take any questions if you have. Or you want me to delve into something much deeper, I can do that.
Yes, Ankur, you have a question, please. Unmute yourself and ask. After that, Ankita will ask the question.
Good afternoon, sir. So, sir, my question is, sir, as of current situation, like अगर हम किसी भी ऐसे पर्सन से कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं और अपना सपोज कि अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट ही हम सेल कर रहे हैं और वो पर्सन हमको देख नहीं पा रहा है, लाइक अगर हम सिर्फ उससे ऑडियो या फोन के थ्रू डायरेक्टली कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं, उस फॉर्मेट पे या उस तरीके से हम कैसे उससे बेटर वे में कम्युनिकेशन बिल्ड कर सकते हैं. और इन केस अगर वो पर्सन ऐसा है कि वो चीजों को बहुत ज्यादा तोल मोल के या बहुत एनालाइज करके अगर सारी चीजों को समझ रहा है, तो कैसे हम ऐसी चीज को उसको सेल कर सकते हैं जो अभी की सिचुएशन में बहुत हम बोल सकते हैं कि एसेंशियल नहीं है या नेसेसरी नहीं है, बट हमें वो चीज उसको डिलीवर या सेल करनी है.
ओके, सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट क्वेश्चन. तो पहली बात तो it is not easy. Okay, let's accept that, because the fundamentals of selling or communication have not changed. The methods have changed. Okay, now what is the fundamentally what आपको फेस टू फेस भी करना होता है, पुराने तरीके से करना होता है, तो क्या करते हैं आप किसी को क्या समझा, उनको बेनिफिट समझाते हैं, हाउ इट इज रेलेवेंट एंड यूजफुल टू दैट पर्सन, यू विल टॉक अबाउट दैट. So the same thing you do. Also, what works is, see, trust, familiarity. If you are going through referrals, ensure you do it and use it well. If you are meeting that person without any referral or directly talking to that person, ऐसा ना, जैसे ही फोन उठाते हैं, कभी कभी फोन पे बात करते हैं, तो ऐसा सेलू नहीं लगना चाहिए, ये तो कुछ बेचने को चिपकाना है, ऐसा अगर तुम्हारी बातों में लगेगा अगले को, okay, so whether it's an idea or a product or a service, that person will not be open. But if you are giving an impression that I'm here to talk to you and see if there is anything I can do for you, then there's a possibility the person will be willing to listen to you. Does it help you, Ankur? Ankur was asking. Okay, you got the point. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ankita, please.
Shall I stop sharing the file now?
As you wish, sir.
If required, if anything point comes in from the presentations, I'll open it.
Absolutely. Ankita, please ask the question.
Good afternoon, sir. I am
Good
Ankita
afternoon.
Shukla.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a quick question regarding the new normal, which is work from home.
Okay.
So we are adopting the work from home culture and we are changing our lives according to that. But the main question was how to maintain a balance between work from home, work and home. Because I think this is the situation, it's new to everybody. And right now we are very much confused. Sometimes when we are out of the work also we are thinking about the work, and the same thing when we are in work we are thinking about the home. So what is the way to maintain the balance of work from home?
So you said three things: work from home, work, and
Work
what is
and
it?
home.
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 Okay. So that's a nice question, Ankita. And actually, the answer is very simple. That we need to, but I'll also give you a detailed answer. Uh, we need to understand that it is work from home. That's the only thing that has changed. The from has come in between. But work and home, there are different activities at work and different activities at home. Okay. Now, that's a simple answer. So, बड़े आसान है, इसमें क्या problem है? लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं है because our life is such, technology is such that it has kind of mixed everything together. Okay. Uh, Sometimes it can become very overwhelming. कि time ही नहीं मिलता. How do I prioritize? अच्छा, ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें ये नहीं करना है और वो करना है. हमें करना सब कुछ है. पर हमें we need to start prioritizing this. So the way I operate is, if it is on the calendar, it is. If it is not on the calendar, it is not. So whether you are using Google, Apple, Microsoft, whatever you're using, छोटी चीजों पे ना कैलेंडर में डालो, prioritize करो, एक task लगाओ. And when you put it on the calendar, when the two things clash, you will have to choose one from the other. And that gives you an opportunity to prioritize कि भाई किस चीज को मैं ज्यादा prioritize करूं. Something can wait until tomorrow, something cannot wait until tomorrow. So that is the way you should do it. ये ओवरवेलमिंग इसलिए होता है क्योंकि हमारे दिमाग में हम लेके घूमते हैं, ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, वो भी करना है. दिमाग से उतार के कैलेंडर में डाल दो. कैलेंडर तो आसान है यूज करना. हर चीज यदि कैलेंडर में है तो है, नहीं है तो नहीं. ये अगर थंब रूल आसान नहीं है, ये वहां तक पहुंचना थोड़ा मुश्किल है. But I think that will be a starting point, that I would recommend as a technique that you can do.
Yes.
बाकी करना तो सब कुछ है.
Deepan sir, can I
Yes,
add
yes,
something on
yes,
this?
yes, sir, Doctor sir.
I'll add a HR perspective on a lighter note on this question. Although
Please,
it's
sir.
a lighter note, but it's a heavy thought, which I am trying to communicate now. My thinking is that those people who have already worked in their organization as if that organization was their home, they don't feel any change when they are working from home. So those who love their organizations in earlier times also, they will feel the same when still they are working from home. So I think that pays away.
Correct. And I'm sure that's a very interesting thought, sir. That सब कुछ मेरा ही है अभी. So actually, what you're saying is there is मैं तो मैं ही हूँ. ये काम भी मेरा है, घर भी मेरा है. तो ये पूरा एक ही है, मेरा फैमिली है, मेरा ही सब कुछ करना है. And so that's a good thought. And then there's never a stress. And yet, if there are certain times, when you feel that stress. But calendarizing is a good habit. As a habit, I can tell you that it sorts out a lot of things. And also, there are two kinds of people. Since I do psychometrics, I can tell you. There is one category of person who wants everything planned. And there is another category of person उसको planning से कोई मतलब नहीं. That is how they are. There's nothing right or wrong about it. Okay. So if you are feeling stressed because everything is unplanned, then start planning. But if you're not, then it's okay. But the point is, if you don't use the right habit of putting it in a calendar, you will miss out on something important or critical at the time. So to that extent, as a habit, it is good that you start prioritizing things on a calendar. Does it help,
Thank you,
Ankita?
sir, and thank you, Pastor. Yes, sir, perfectly.
Okay.
And thank you, Pastor, sir, for adding your thoughts as well.
Thank you, Khalsa sir. Okay,
So
who's next?
there's a question from Karnika. She's saying that with the rise of mass unemployment in many countries and a further shift in skills required by organization, how can we tackle the need to enable people to access the skill training that they need to adapt their own careers in the new world? So the question is basically about the skill training that will be required.
So train them. No, so the answer is very simple: train them. See, the fact is that there is a mass. A lot of people are losing jobs, which is a fact. But realize, the people who are losing jobs are those people who have, as much as it is a fact and something we will not like to listen to, but these are the people who are losing jobs. They have become irrelevant or less relevant for the company at that time. No organization who is here for business will remove people who are valuable to that company, given the context, given the situation, right? Now, why is it that these people lost their jobs? Were they bad performers? No, they were good performers. But for the future, their skills don't match, or their relevance, their importance don't match for the future. And so company is okay to let them go. They are here, all companies are here for business. They are here for profit. Nobody is here for charity, right? Now, what people need to understand is that this can happen with anybody. If I am so much fixated with my own skills, my own competencies, one day I'll become irrelevant. Suddenly, everything will go because life will change, technology will change. Music companies, CDs, cassettes, everything has become history because everything is digital now. You are using Google Play Music is also going. We are using YouTube Music, YT Music. There is Spotify. Anybody can go on to Spotify and create your own, or SoundCloud. You can have your own music. Anybody. You don't need a T series or somebody to publish you. You can create your own thing. You can have a YouTube channel of your own. So the work methods, manner has changed. You need to be able to adapt to that quickly. I have spent many years doing training, maybe trained over 20,000 people. In sales also I have had 20,000 sales calls plus and things like that. But when times change, I have to change. I suddenly had to learn, how to do a YouTube channel and create videos on that. I've been a photographer, yes, but I have never done video photography. But now I have to learn for my own sake. Now I have a channel. I have a YouTube, things going on. I have, other things going on. I have to learn. Only then I can reach out to people. But if I operate from a traditional, I'll talk to people, I'll get referrals, I'll give customized solutions. Life doesn't work that way anymore. So people need to learn. And if we are in the intent of providing that opportunity, we need to teach people, how you should learn. Technology in any form is important for everybody, in one form or the one way or the other. Does it help, Kanika, right? Karnika.
Yes, yes, sir, I believe. Yes, she got the point, sir.
Okay.
I believe, sir, since you represented the whole points, you raised the question first, sir, and then you gave absolutely apt answers to those much needed and much desired questions that we had a very wonderful and interactive session throughout. I mean, you
Thank
can
you,
see the people, they were responding to many other things. I believe, so there's just one last question. So I have read
sure.
that you are an organization designer. What does it mean?
So I design organizations. So no. So to tell you, answer that. See, it's not just a fancy name. Organizations, they need to continuously adapt themselves to changing, environment, market, or and their needs. It's exactly the same way that when you were a child, you had certain needs. As you became a teenager, you had certain other needs. As you went to college and post graduation, your needs are different. Your outlook is different. You need to be very different. You start working, it'll be different. You'll get married, life will change. You'll have children, life will change, and so on. Life will continue to change, periodically, or rather in different phases. The same life cycle an organization also goes through. And then what happens is at every stage, uh, if the management changes or doesn't change, either way, they are into their way of thinking in a certain manner. What I do is I work with them and help them design their goals for the future, fine tune it them. If that is what they want to do, what is it that they will need to do in their companies, whether it is organization structure, whether it is certain policies, certain processes, whatever. Basically, what I do is help them bring HR to the fore as a business imperative rather than a support function. So I don't believe that HR is a support function. I believe HR is business. If there is people, only then business can happen. So I help them bring that and help them design that entire, everything that goes into. So it includes design thinking. It includes, putting all the everything HR into place, helping people by way of coaching, by way of learning, and various other things into that. So complicated thing, but have I answered? Okay, there's a follow-up question on that. Say that you design organizing in a way to have more collaboration between people. Partly yes, and to complete the sentence, for the purpose of achieving their goals in the future and within the framework of their core values.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I believe because you answered the complete things. So the last 1.5 hours, it was nothing less than listening to. It was as good as a book, a very enriching book. And by the end, we got 7 presets to the new normal. We have heard a lot, but what to do about this? I mean, thank you so much, sir, for giving us the much needed answer. And may I please request Dr. Arjun Murthy, sir, for the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your stimulating and inspiring thoughts on much needed contemplation on the 7 precepts for the new normal and covering broad spectrum of the precepts for the new normal and its finer aspects in simple and comprehensive manner. It's an unforgettable treat for the students to hear from you on this topic, sir. It was indeed a power-packed and immersive learning session on the 7 precepts for the new normal for all of us here. I, on behalf of the entire IPER family, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to Mr. Deepan Vaishnav sir for gracing the IPER's e-lecture series initiative 2020 and sharing with us his rich experience and knowledge to match the best in the world. Thank you, sir, for giving us all the mantra for growth in this era of rethinking, reimagining, and recreating ourselves. It's a memorable day for IPERians. Students and faculties would cherish this forever. All of us are feeling regenerated inside and out. We assure you, sir, to continue to work in the direction of creating knowledgeable managers and worthy citizens for the society. We are also thankful to our college management, Chaitanya Shiksha Samiti, the parent body of IPER, Group Director, Dr. Amarjit Singh Khalsa sir, Dr. Vaibhav Lavlekar sir, Chairman, MBA Program, Dr. Harsh Sharma sir, Chairman, Career Center, Dr. Mahesh Soni sir, Chairman, Corporate Communications, for organizing such wonderful initiatives. Thanks one and all present here, and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was really nice interacting with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really, really great to have you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anytime, anybody can, you have my contacts now on the screen I shared. Reach out to me. I'll be happy to connect with anybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.